The day has finally come. This past Thanksgiving weekend, if you're Canadian, the premiere of Radiant graced our screens. A spark of hope within a somewhat dull season, at least in my opinion. Unlike a JoJo's fan, I'm not going to say the season is flawless because of one show. In the month of Shonen, what should you watch? With My Hero Academia ending its third season, Black Clover going over a year strong, and the final season of Fairy Tail, what could Radiant do to deserve anyone's attention? I asked you weebs on Twitter if I should do episode reviews or just normal videos, and everybody that voted wants episode reviews, so I hope this is some middle ground. Similar to most shonen, the beginning of this episode introduces us to our main character Seth, and tells us about his goal of becoming the Wizard King. The greatest sorcerer in the world. Seth, however, already has his powers, and isn't going to have some BS plot twist to get them. We open up with him training in the woods using Alma's grimoires. Alma is Seth's mentor, an extremely powerful sorcerer, and the best character in the show, cough cough. Seth is training to be strong enough to help her take on the Nemesis, magical creatures that terrorize humans. In this world, a lot of humans hate magic and anything that can use it. They're terrified of the Nemesis, but also look down on and hate the sorcerers. We see this very early on when Alma is shopping for equipment and she's refused service because of her powers. While she's busy in town, Seth is failing miserably at using some more complex spells, and to avoid embarrassing himself in front of his friend, he uses a move called Titan Punch to blow a boulder away. That boulder crashes into a farm, releasing all the cattle, who then begin to chase Seth through the town right past Alma. Watching this, I thought it was predictable, but still really funny. Although I might be a little salty they didn't use the scene from the manga where Seth thinks all the cows are actually Nemesis and tries to fight them. Alma stops the cattle, and the townspeople start throwing rocks at the two of them, yelling how horrible sorcerers are and how they should just leave the island, because they've never gotten any Nemesis, so what's the point of having trash like them around? After hearing this, Seth has the idea that if he can defeat all the Nemesis, then everyone will be grateful and wouldn't treat him and Alma so poorly. As he's thinking this, a Nemesis egg crashes into the town, and Seth remembers that Alma's on a different island today, so it's up to him to save the town and everyone in it. Before it hatches, Seth goes home and stocks up on some magic items to give him the biggest advantage possible. When he arrives to the scene, the villagers yell at him that the woman is who they need right now, and not some little punk-ass kid. Seth then proceeds to get absolutely bodied by the Nemesis, and one of the characters who's close to competing with Alma for the coolest in the series shows up to save him. With the last couple shonen we've gotten, the beginning of the show isn't what hooks me in, it's the idea of the world. The first episode of Black Clover isn't bad, but it's nothing special, with the random plot twist so Asta can actually be useful. Similarly, I don't like the first half of Season 1 of My Hero Academia. In both shows, we're given a useless main character, who's more or less given a power out of pity for how stupidly determined they are, and the rest of the season is dedicated to building them up from completely useless to somehow completely overpowered. Unless you're My Hero Academia, then it takes 3 seasons. A shonen that has their protagonists start with their power is so refreshing. I want to watch the show, not the prequel just because Seth doesn't have any powers yet. If you follow me on Twitter, which you totally should, you would have seen me talk about how it seems we may be entering an era where every new shonen, or even returning shonen, is treated as a bad My Hero Academia. But if you feel the need to compare Radiant to another anime, then I'd say it's most similar to Fairy Tail, but that's still a hard stretch to pull off. Although they're both shonen, so they're both pretty similar. Oh wait, what? Wait, people are still talking shit about Fairy Tail because it's just a bad My Hero Academia? Because that's the only shonen anyone should care about? Interesting. Radiant has a fairly memorable first episode, unlike a lot of shonen I've watched. I can remember the first episode of Black Clover because it was only a year ago, almost to the day, but I had to rewatch the first bit of MHA, and for the life of me, I can't remember much about the first episodes of Fairy Tail, One Piece, or Bleach. Shonen in general isn't everyone's cup of tea, I know it's not mine, but if you're interested, I definitely recommend picking up Radiant to fill time this season. And I'm totally not just saying that because the manga is fantastic and Studio Lurch can do no wrong. We'll see how things go from here. Thanks for watching. Check your screen for the 1AM anime playlist and a video YouTube seems to think you'll dork out over. Or check the description for anything that you need. Well, peace weebs.